Everybody. Hi, it is Thursday, April 30th. Just wanted to get on here to do our lesson video for today. Today, you are taking the part 2 of the cumulative assessment. Okay, so yesterday you did the study guide. Hopefully you went back and checked your comments from me because some of you turned it in and you had a lot of things wrong. And if you don't go back and check those comments, then you have no idea that you got them wrong. So please make sure you're going back and looking at those comments so that you don't make the same mistakes today on the assessment when it really matters. So if you didn't check your comments, go in, check. Even if you got a 2 out of 2, that doesn't mean you don't have any silly mistakes. Look for my notes, okay? You guys did really well on the back of this page. This part where you had a circle, 0, a half, and a whole was fantastic. Your subtraction problem was fantastic. And your ordered pairs was fantastic. Don't forget the parentheses around the ordered pairs. You can see I have 3, 4 in parentheses, okay? Over and then up. Only 3 of you did it opposite. So remember, you start at 0, you go over, and then you go up. Over, up. And if you need to go back and watch the video of Mr. Curry doing the examples, then you can go ahead and do that. Most of the mistakes were made on the front of the study guide, which means most of the mistakes will probably be made on the first page of the assessment. So the first question of the assessment says to complete the table, and you have a table just like that, just like you did on the study guide. So the first one is very similar to this. So I'm going to read this to myself. And I read the whole number, not 3/10, 100th, 4 thousandths. We don't write that. We read it as 314 thousandths. And that's what you want to write. So your word form would be 314 thousandths. Okay? Your expanded form, you're going number by number. So I have my 3 in my tenths, my 1 in my hundredths, and my 4 in my thousandths. So that would be my expanded form for that one. So that's very similar to number 1. The first one in number 1. The second one in number 1 says 3 and 62 thousandths. Just make sure that you get it into the thousandths, okay? Because if I have 3 and 62 thousandths, well, that's 62 hundredths. So do not put that on your test. I need it to be 3 and 62 thousandths. Now, if I go like that, nope, that's 3 and 620 thousandths. I don't want 620. The paper says 62. So think about where you need to put that 0 on your test, okay? All right, so that's kind of like the reminder for the number 1 on the assessment. It'll say number 9 just because we broke it into 2 parts. Number 10 on the assessment, which is, number 2, is rounding. You guys did awesome on the rounding, okay? Just a quick reminder, if I have something like this and I'm rounding to the whole number, whole means ones. Ones place, not tens, ones place. And I can tell who's listening to these videos because if you're rounding it to the tens, you're not listening to me right now and watching me point to the ones place right before the decimal. Whole number is ones place. Okay, if I say I have to round it to the tenths, remember I underline my tenths and I put up my door. I see who's knocking and it's a 7, 5 and above. I give it a shove and the 8's going to become a 9. So my answer would be 38.9. Nobody else behind the door gets to come in. Okay? So that's your reminder for the second question. Okay? The third question says write the value of the 2. Surprisingly, a handful of you got this one wrong. If I have 102.3, my value of my 2 is just 2. If I have 7,426, then my value of the 2 is 20. Okay? Now, if I have my 2 in my decimal part, So say I have 47.029. The value of my 2 is in the hundredths, so I would write decimal 02, like that, okay? Please make sure when you do this part, you pay attention to the place value and you watch this video, okay? The next part on the test is adding fractions. It's about Gianna making salad. And you're going to add the 2 fractions together. Quick denominator for that one, okay? So your denominators are a 3 and a 4. Quick denominator, whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. You're adding. So if you subtract, then I know you're not watching the video, okay? Adding for number 13. Number 14 is over and up, okay? You got your grid over and up, and you're going to write them there with parentheses. And the last one, you are circling what it's closer to, 0, a half, or a whole, and then you're going to subtract them, and you're going to use the bigger denominator, which is a 20. And whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. You do not need to borrow or anything, okay? Just remember when I'm deciding if it's closer to 0, a half, or a whole, if I have something like 8/9, I'm thinking, all right, well, I would have 0/9, I would have 9/9. Half of 9 is 4.5. So what's 8 closest to? Well, 8 is closest to 9, so it would be closest to a whole. If I have something like 3/16, my whole would be 16/16, 0 would be 0/16, and half would be 8/16. So we think about what's this 3 closest to? It's closest to this, so that fraction's closest to 0, okay? So I know I kind of went through some of that fast. I mean, I'm already at 7 minutes. I don't know how this time goes by so quick. But please, you guys, you're doing so awesome. I'm so proud of you. You have no idea. It means the world to me that you guys are working this hard. It's right here. If you play my video and do the problem, play some of the video, hit pause, do the problem. Play some of the video, hit pause, do some of the problem. Watch my video while you're doing it. Okay? And there's lots of hints in there, okay? And if you submit it, please go back at it takes me a while to grade online. I can't do it as quick as I can in school because it's hard for me to write all those notes on my laptop and my iPad. It's really difficult for me. But I'm trying to get this stuff done as quickly as I can. But if you can go back in later in the day, 4, 5, 6 o'clock and see what your grade is. And if you want to make changes, that's fine. But you have to email me and tell me that you made changes because I don't always get to go. It doesn't alert me that you resubmitted. So I don't always see it. So make sure you tell me. All right, but that's it. Happy Thursday, April 30th. April's almost done. Hard to believe. If you need me, you guys know to email me. All right. Bye, guys. Miss you.